there is a peculiar poison, insidiously addictive, quietly ensnaring many in its grip. It subtly but thoroughly spreads, much like a creeping vine that chokes out the life beneath it. This poison manifests in the form of a person who is always seeking approval from others. They care so deeply about what other people think that it's as if they are caught in a net made of other people's opinions. This phenomenon is all too familiar, isn't it? We frequently encounter individuals yearning for acceptance, longing for others to like them, agree with them, and provide reassurance of their worth. It resembles an addiction, creating a two-way street. Some people find themselves unable to break free from the constant need for approval, while others find themselves unable to withhold their own opinions. But here's something to remember. God has a special plan for you, and it's not a small deal. If you ever feel like God is pulling you away from negative people, from those who doubt you, criticize you, or make you feel small, it's because He's up to something important. If you feel like God is cutting off connections with anyone who's been holding you back, pay attention. Think about it. If God has set you free from a family who never understood you or believed in your dreams, it was His decision. If He has separated you from those who always made you question yourself and your life's purpose, be sure He had a reason for it. God, with all His wisdom, has cut off these harmful connections because He has bigger plans for you. He didn't just separate you from people who made you feel bad about yourself, but also from the noise of random strangers and their opinions on the internet. Think of these projections and doubts as harmful seeds that, once sown, can inhibit the growth of a healthy, prosperous tree. Does it make sense, then, that God would liberate you from the negative influences only to subject you to similar, or worse, projections from strangers? Certainly not. God broke those chains of negativity because He envisioned something greater for you, something more fulfilling and satisfying. He wishes to see you blessed, content, and successful. When others attempted to belittle your dreams and aspirations, tried to convince you that your goals were too lofty or even impossible, remember that God is the master architect of possibilities. No blessing is beyond His power to bestow, no dream too grand for Him to bring to fruition. If God has reassured you of your potential, if He has verified that your aspirations align with His divine plan, then understand this: no dream is too vast for God. The moment God delivers you from the clutches of those who sought to instill doubt in you, the moment you are set free from the notion that your dreams are too immense, that's when you realize that the opinions of others hold no water. If God has deemed the negative opinions of your family irrelevant, why then would the opinions of strangers carry any weight? In the arena of life, take a moment to pause and question, why should the taunts of a colleague or superior in your workspace affect you so deeply? They prod you, breed a sense of discouragement, and cast aspersions on your inventive and worthy ideas. Yet why should their views carry any weight when God Himself has chosen you? Contemplate this for a moment. There are souls in this world marred by a sense of inadequacy, who believe that they are incapable of achieving anything remarkable. Insecurity wraps around them like a cloak, and their faith is a frail, crumbling thing. Unknowingly, they bear the weight of a scarcity mindset, the residual effects of generational curses and heavy baggage passed down through their lineage. They opt to remain passive, preferring stagnation over transformation. Now picture a child of God. This child is not just any ordinary one, but a fierce warrior in the spiritual realm, a being obedient to the Creator, a soul who hungers and thirsts for the purpose instilled in them. This child is embarked on a divine mission, driven by the commandments of the Lord. As God showers His abundant blessings on this favored child, what do the onlookers see? What they witness sparks envy and resentment. They rush to assault this blessed child of God, attempting to instill guilt or discouragement for their desire for more. Their misplaced accusations label you greedy, simply because you crave more blessings or because God showers His grace upon you. They endeavor to make you feel remorseful for mirroring the image of God, for embracing his intentions for you. Consider this analogy for a moment. Imagine a speaker at a public gathering, shouting loudly into the microphone, his voice echoing harshly in the auditorium. This is superfluous, a clamor for acknowledgement. Some individuals are like this speaker. Their behaviors are not driven by necessity, but by a desperate yearning for recognition. Then, there are those who possess equally powerful voices, yet they exercise control because their self-esteem is not bound to outside confirmation. They are the silent contributors with compelling narratives, yet maintaining modesty. Does this make sense? They are humble, even amidst the trappings of prosperity. Sometimes it is impossible to veil the blessings God showers upon you. Never should you feel compelled to conceal the magnitude of God's grace in your life. Why should you feel shame for the blessings you receive? Why should David, a humble shepherd chosen by God to be king, feel guilt for his blessings? Why should Esther, selected to be queen and save her people, feel contrition for the favor she found in God's eyes? Remember, child of God, blessings are not a cause for shame, but a testament of God's love. So wear them as a badge of honor and let the world see his goodness shining through you. Imagine Job, a man abundantly blessed by God, feeling guilt over his wealth. Should he feel regret for the overflowing cornucopias bestowed upon him? Imagine him questioning, should I conceal my wealth, my cattle, my bounty, to make others feel comfortable? The sheer thought of it contradicts the purpose of blessings. God's favor is not for camouflage, but for display, a testimony of his goodness and abundance. Think of Esther, an epitome of grace, endowed with beauty and poise. Would she hold back from adorning herself, fretting about causing discomfort? Would she say, maybe I should keep my hair down and simple today to avoid standing out? Perish the thought. Our God has made us fearfully and wonderfully. Esther, with the grace of a queen, would undoubtedly express her gratitude by enhancing the beauty bestowed upon her, not hiding it away. Now consider David, a man after God's own heart, adorning his regal crown, a symbol of God's authority bestowed upon him. Would he ever consider discarding it due to the discomfort it might cause others? Would he say, maybe I should relinquish my crown to prevent others from becoming jealous or feeling diminished? It's unlikely, for David understood that his crown, his leadership, was God's mandate, not a mere adornment to be casually cast aside. The Proverbs 31 woman is a virtuous woman of substance. The scriptures tell us that she dressed in fine linen, a material of quality and high esteem. Did she ever ponder, maybe I'll opt for clothing that is more understated and humble, foregoing ostentation and extravagance to avoid stirring others' insecurities? I would argue not, for her clothing was a testament to her resourcefulness and stature, a statement of God's grace, not a mockery of less fortunate souls. In truth, people may attempt to cause you to dim your light because of their discomfort. They might feel overwhelmed by the radiance of your blessings, your talents, your beauty, your wisdom, or your dreams. If your light is too glaring for them, they can choose not to remain in your vicinity. If they feel unease in the brightness of your light, they need not gaze upon it. But for you to conceal your light, to disguise God's gifts, to shy away from your dreams to placate them, it's an affront to God's blessings. Have you ever asked a person to dim their brilliance merely to provide comfort to your own eyes? Or might you have the audacity to suggest, your vision, your foretelling, is overly ambitious, too daring. Reduce its scope, make it understandable within my grasp. Attempting to quash an individual's belief, minimize their goals, or belittle their predictions breaches a sacred kinship. It is tantamount to placing an obstacle in the journey of your fellow brothers and sisters. Visualize a scenario where Solomon contemplated, should I really use gold to erect God's sanctuary, as it might induce jealousy? Perhaps utilizing silver would be less controversial. However, he refrained from such thoughts. Solomon didn't establish God's sacred place to cater to the uncertainties of others. His primary intent was to pay tribute to the divine. Every soul has aspirations, ambitions, dreams that span the horizons of our hearts and minds. God, in His infinite wisdom, has heard your deepest desires, dreams, and goals. He has not only listened, but acknowledged, validated, and consented to lead you to the actualization of your dreams. These desires, nestled in your heart, have been sanctified by the divine seal of God's approval. So when God proclaims, "Absolutely, this is the path you should tread, and I'm here to walk alongside you," do not retreat in guilt or shame. Celebrate God's affirmation, for it is not a burden but a blessing, a divine validation that you are deserving. There's a mystique about worthiness that often gets misconstrued. You, my dear friend, must realize that the blessings God rains upon you are not arbitrary. They are a testament to your worthiness. God's blessings are not mistakes nor cosmic accidents. They are deliberate, measured, and a declaration of His faith in your worth. Let's confront the harsh reality. There will always be those who strive to cast a shadow of doubt, disbelief, and discouragement on your path. They would manipulate you into thinking that God's blessings are a burden, that they are too great, too grand to be enjoyed. Such naysayers exist, not as harbingers of truth, but as roadblocks, attempting to derail you from your destined path. If God had deemed you undeserving of more, undeserving of happiness and blessings, He could have chosen to keep you ensnared in a situation that did nothing but breed discouragement. But He didn't. Why? Because He saw in you the potential for more, for better. He perceived in you the strength to break free from the chains of generational discouragement and misery. God's guidance in your life signifies His belief in your potential for growth and a better future. Every divine whisper is a step towards self-improvement. Many are stuck due to a lack of understanding or fear, yet you, resolved and steadfast, tread the divine path. Don't let others' doubts undermine your journey. God wouldn't guide you if He didn't see your worthiness for greatness. Your escape from negativity and divine assistance symbolize His recognition of you deserving more. You've been chosen for this path. Accept it boldly, embracing both its blessings and challenges. Your journey matters. You are loved and chosen for a reason. Like the video and type Amen if you trust in the Lord. Click the link in the description to discover a limited-time special offer on a life-altering technique designed to help you manifest God's blessings.